completely engulfed by this darkness. At least one of the Eladrin is as well. There is one who's just on the cusp of it. The way that you had to angle it means that they are just on the edge. They turn around, see the darkness, look at you, and they're, bright sort of... they're wearing like red clothes, but all of their like hair is almost like flowers and vines and plants, and it looks like it's in full summer's bloom. You can see trails of flame along their longsword as they turn, and you just see them maniacally grin. The Stormchasers are here! Good, a chance to prove my mettle!
Chance to prove my mettle? Where are they?
No, this guy doesn't care about this Summer Eladrin is not too fussed about the actual people he's under command of. He just wants to fight.
Misty step 30 foot onto the top of a building.
Appears on the thing. The Summer Eladrin just goes like, ha! I know that trick. Are you running away from me, Stormchaser? Mighty hero of Aerois? And he's just kind of gesturing like, come at me, bro. The Summer Eladrin is just like looks up, sees you get nailed by this rock, says, well, you seem to have things in hand, my dear. A fitting price for your cowardice. I'm off to find a more worthy opponent. And he is going to go running towards the bit of fight. He's going to go, 1, 2, 95. And then he's going to dash. 5, 10. And he's going to arrive on the outskirts of this ice storm, and he's going to look, and he's just like, you! The Guardian and the Barbarian woman! Fight me! Fight me! I wish a worthy challenge!
Shut up! He's quite cute, to be honest. Like, A+ for effort, man. A+ for enthusiasm.
21 to hit the Eladrin.
21. Now, this is the Summer Eladrin, I believe. Yes, he is going to. So he can use a reaction called Parry, where he adds 3 to his AC against one melee attack that would hit him, which boosts his AC to 22. So as this lance, he sees it coming. He's like, a challenge. And he manages to like deflect it and leap to the side. But it's close. Like, it kind of scratches his cheek, and you see this kind of like golden blood spilling down. And he's just like, you will make a fine challenge for me.
Oh, careful what you wish for.
Nice. Sentry! The Summer Eladrin looks at you, grips his sword in both hands. Have at thee! Hurrah! He's going to charge towards you. 2 longsword attacks. I'm rolling like a god. 26 to hit on the first one.
Yeah.
And 20 to hit on the second one, which I believe is a miss against Sentry, isn't it?
AC
21.
Yeah.
So the first one is going to be 18 points of slashing and 8 points of fire. So that's going to be 26 total. Scores a hefty blow against your armor.
So we'll do the Eladrin first. 3 plus 12 is 15, so it's probably
not enough. No, he kind of he doesn't even need to parry it this time. He just sort of ducks and weaves, dancing around this big weapon that you're kind of like throwing around like gracefully. I'm afraid you'll have to do a bit better than that. She looks like she's ready to collapse, and like you do weakly hear her call out like, my brothers and sisters, we must flee. We must leave this place. We are failing. The Summer Eladrin, who is currently fighting Sentry, flee in our moment of triumph. Never! Ha ha! He just charges towards Sentry. 2 hands, two-handing.
Can we keep him? Can we
maybe.
keep him?
Quite like this
just
guy.
like, yeah.
First attack is a miss, like bounces off your armor. You parry it to the side of the Starbreaker. Second one's an 18. Yeah, both. It's just like clang, clang of steel, flames kind of like erupting all around you. Sentry.
I would like to cast Sunbeam, please.
So coming from the golden orb of your chest, this beam of light. But the Summer Eladrin is going to take this right in the chest. Just like, it's like knocked back. So yeah, like you watch as he's like knocked back and he's blinded. He's like, what has happened? Well, I can still fight. And he's like pulling up his sword and he's trying to like look around. You can hear the faint sounds of like a tree smashing quill. You can hear like Nova fighting something. You can hear this blinded Eladrin like, I can still fight. Ha ha! The Summer Eladrin looks like he's blinded, so he's like trying to look around, and then he just raises his sword, and he just holds it up, and he just drops his sword to the side. He's just like, my allies have fled. I'm clearly beaten. I will surrender for now, but I will not give you any secrets. I am loyal to my lord. But I will go. If you will take me as an honorable prisoner, I will surrender.
What, just immediately turn heel.
No, he's not turning heel, but he
like,
knows that his allies have fled.
I will never give up a fight. I have been beaten.
Well, no, he likes a challenge, but he knows that he's been beaten, so he can't physically win. He's not just going to die here for like no reason. Okay.
Let the beautiful man come with us. Come on.
He's not going to come with you, but you can take him prisoner if you like, or you can just kill him.
And Lucius, look at this Eladrin and dominate monster. I'm going to say, tell us everything you know.
Okay.
Yes. That's how I'm going to end
I will not tell you my secrets. Here's all my secrets.
He basically is just like, I will never betray my lord, but if you will take me as honorable prisoner, then so be it. I've failed. And then he just stops speaking, and then the next words out of his mouth is he's just like, we were sent here to help encourage the visitors, encourage the residents to join the Valkyrian Empire. My lord, it is a little known fact that my kind have a natural influence around the people around us. And so we were sent here to help spread the word of the Valkyrian Empire, and we were taking these people to safety. We were taking them to a nearby settlement where they would be taken aboard. He doesn't have any deep military secrets. There probably is like some military stuff he knows, like, oh, there's a unit stationed here, like there's a sizable force of Valkyrian soldiers stationed here, blah, 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 but it's not the kind of intel that you guys would act on. This is the kind of intelligence that you would take back.
If we leave, that's when I dismiss Dominate Monster, and he's just left there on his own.
Yeah, does he, look, you can tell me, does he remember being under your control and what
I'll
he
make
did?
sure he remembers everything that he spilled.
Oh, yeah. As soon as you release it, he's just like, you villain. You villain, you made me betray my oaths. And you're like, he's shouting this as you're being led. I will never forgive you. I will never forgive you, Stormchasers, this dishonorable. And he's just like calling all this stuff out as you're like boarding the Stormchaser.
He's making so many statements like, I will never surrender. Always Sunny theme. The Eladrin surrenders. I'll never tell you my secrets. Always Sunny theme. He tells us everything. I'll never forgive you, though.
No, he's a very passionate guy. He's a Summer Eladrin. They're all about passion and stuff. But yeah, very, very. You leave a very, very angry Eladrin in the under the care of the Guardians.
Later.
I don't know if Guardians
Why
can
don't
explode, but I
we-
think I might explode.
Speak to the Summer Eladrin. We could circumvent this whole moral quandary that Sentry is stewing in right now if he can just be our Feywild guide. If it comes to it, Sentry, and you must stick with your vows, I respect them. We all pinky promise that we only use it, the Archway, as a means to get Thalia some respite.
It's not. You can speak to the guards in Horizon, and they will tell you that yes, they still have the Eladrin in custody. That they're in the prison. They've bound their hands and gagged them to stop them casting spells and things like that. There is something strange. The Eladrin has changed. When you first brought them here, they were there was fire and there was bright orange and yellow colorings to their skin and their hair and their clothes. That has completely changed. They've become very morose, and as they have, the chamber has become cold. They seem to have undergone a physical transformation. Their skin is blue and their hair is white. They're refusing to speak to anybody. As soon as you get within a certain distance, you feel this kind of presence trying to overwhelm you, and like melancholy and sadness, and you almost feel like your movements want to slow down, but you kind of shrug it off, you shake your head, and you press through this effect. You can see that the jail cell is actually like a kind of like a short distance, and then it's like a pit that goes down. It's about a sort of like 50-foot drop down, and then you can see that there is like a comfortable looking cell. There's like a bed, there is like a kind of like small chamber for like chamber pot and stuff like that. There is like a pulley system used to like lower things up and down. It looks like this is housed, it's used to house people that might have certain abilities that would make escaping easier. And you look down and you can see that the Eladrin has his hands bound in these like giant leather mitts. So it's just enough that he can hold things, but he has no like fine finger control. He can't like make gestures for spells or anything like that. And he has like a leather gag over his mouth as well. And he is completely different. You see that he still has the same sort of facial features. His hair is the same style. He has the thin little mustache. But where he was once all flamey and orange and yellow, it is now blues. The hair is like this white, almost kind of ombre effect into like a ice blue green. You can see that the mustache is now made of almost like frosted icicles that kind of form this Aerois kind of like little mustache. And his clothes are all blue. And yeah, there is this kind of like icy presence about him. He looks up at you, and when he sees Lucius especially, his eyes just narrow, and he sits down on the bed and just looks at the floor.
You look very different to last we saw you in the combat.
Just sort of like turns his head. You can see that he's ganked. He can't speak.
Would you like, with a nod, to converse with us? We can take the gag off and we
Looks
can talk.
up. Shrugs.
Is that a yes?
Shrugs.
I'll stay up here. I don't think he particularly likes me.
Yeah, he doesn't resist. He stays sitting down. You kind of move up, you unlatch the gag thing, you take it off. You can see his hands, like his big mittened hands. He kind of like shuffles them around, but you don't see that he can use in any way. He can't like wield a weapon. He couldn't grab you with them. Like they completely engulf his hands, basically. And yeah, like you take the thingy off, and he just lets you take it off, and then doesn't say or do anything. You see him just kind of like coughs a couple of times, maybe like wipes his mouth with the big leather mitt, licks his lips.
Now we can talk.
We
Would you
can.
like? Okay. Now, you seem to be glaring at Lucius up there.
Yes, of course. Why wouldn't I? I thought that I was fighting honorable warriors. I thought that I was going to have a true challenge battle. And then when I surrendered in good faith, seeing my companions flee after their defeat, you decided to use foul magic to force me to give up the secrets of my loyalty, my empire.
In our defense, we were protecting Aerois from those that would try to manipulate the minds of villagers.
What do you mean manipulate the minds? We were speaking with them. We spoke to them. We told them of the wonders of the Valkyrian of the Empire, of the joys that we would bring them.
I mean, speaking wasn't getting through to them. I broke whatever spells you had on them.
Whatever spells, those must have been cast by yourself. We did not cast any spells of control upon them. Why would we? People listen to us. Not that I would expect you to understand.
And yet I feel the power of this compulsion when I enter this room.
Well, I do. He looks at you confused. He's just like, I do not know what you're speaking about. Perhaps it is merely being in the presence of a splendid being such as myself. Your people of this strange world are not accustomed to the beauty and wonder of the Eladrin race. Perhaps it is merely our presence that befuddles you. But it is not some malicious charm as your witch, your befouling sorcerer up there did to me.
Hey.
The fouling sorcerer can see the aura of magics much differently to us, and I can feel it too. I can tell a magical effect when I feel it. But
well, then that is placed
regardless.
by your people. I am no mage. I am a warrior.
I'm looking up at these guys now, like, I mean, he's just simply not aware of...
I mean, yeah, Quill, your reading of this is this guy either doesn't know that he has a magical, effect that people around him, magically charms people, or he's lying and just playing dumb, but He's playing dumb. One way or the other. Either this guy doesn't know or he's pretending not to know.
We request information from you.
Ah, yes, I see. No amount of torture you do will get me to yield any more secrets. If you want me to divulge any more, you will have to use your magic tricks, your vile grip of my mind. I will not willingly give you anything. Torture me if you must. You will find that as a warrior of 1,000 battles, my body is impervious to any pain you could inflict.
This is the person I remember from the battle. This is the person I remember, finally.
You definitely see that his demeanor, like the hair, like the ice on his mustache, is beginning to drip as if it's melting. It seems that the angrier he gets, like his demeanor is changing.
The more he'll spill. We are looking to find some way, some passage to your homeland.
To Lunaria. You wish to invade, I see. Not content enough to subject the people of this world to your enclosed way of thinking. Now you wish to bring your pervasive thoughts and your witchery and your sorcery to my world, is it?
Not at all. A friend of ours desperately needs our help. And the only way we can solve this problem is by going to Lunaria. With no intention to invade, this is not a war effort.
What makes me think that I would believe your words? I have seen your actions. I surrendered in good faith, and instead you use your wicked ways. You are villains, true villains. And you see the hair there's like gold and orange is beginning to sort of grow out from the roots and spread down the white hair. You can see his clothing is beginning to like turn from this pale blue to almost like a what's like a mix between like blue and sort of like yellow and red. It's like beginning to shift colors. Yeah, kind of. I guess it would be. Yeah.
You wish to be free of this place, to fight for the Valkyrian Empire once more, maybe to take revenge on him up there. Arrangements can be made with your information. You don't have to stay in this place.
You are offering me some sort of deal for my freedom.
Yes, for information.
What?
Provided you give it correctly.
What specific information? I have no intention of lying. Do you take me for some rogue, some rakish thief who would lie and steal? You can see the temperature is beginning to rise and everything. I am no thief. I am no liar. What information do you want?
We simply would like a quick way to travel to Lunaria.
Well, then you ask the impossible. There is no... Your world is protected by this barrier, this cradle that we have been told about. It prevents planar travel. The astral ships that we passage, you would need a guide. You would need an astral ship to go beyond the cradle and to enter the Twilight Nebula. And for that, you would need a guide, a fey being born of Lunaria to take you there.
Do you see what I'm getting at now? You could be that guide. Or indeed, maybe we have a way to bypass that entirely with this book that allows me to travel to, well, anywhere, provided the energy is inserted in these crystals.
He looks at you as if trying to kind of work you out. And for this, you would give me back my freedom. You would allow me to go free in exchange for taking you to Lunaria.
I'll look up at the others first.
Do I have to fight or something?
I mean, I cannot guarantee that your freedom means that we will put you in an arena against Lucius. But maybe in your freedom you'll find a way to him.
Take these wretched mitts and give me a blade, and I will make sure that this trickster, this mind warper would never use such foul powers again. Despicable. I thought him a beauteous creature when I first gazed upon him, but now I see this is but merely another lie. A wicked soul, captured in a perfect form. And he's looking at Lucius when he says perfect form. Like,
wow. compliment at least.
Lucius is blushing.
Sentry gives Lucius a little elbow. Hey.
Stop it, Sentry. He wants to kill me.
Does he?
You would need to take me as the
Mate,
guide.
You've pulled.
You would need to take me as your guide. You would have to honor this bargain if you wish to complete it. You will not make it to Lunaria without me being present.
I mean, we need a guide, and you need your freedom. I think that deal could be made.
Oof, getting Gollum vibes here.
She looks. Yeah, he will look up and say, "You speak pretty words, but I still do not know if I can trust you. How do I not know that you will simply kill me once we arrive in Lunaria?"
We can't. Would you rather this opportunity to go back to your home world, or stay in this
Silence.
50-foot prison?
Silence, you beautiful trickster, you beautiful mind wretcher. I will not listen to you and your honey
so
words.
conflicted.
Your sweet oval face and pink lips. I will not listen.
Okay.
This is an Eladrin thing, by the way, that they love beauty, and so Lucius with his like 25 charisma is like,
Yeah.
that man's amazing, but I hate him.
Curse your mind.
Lest you
Curse your
forget
mind.
how much of a trickster I am. You did not lose your honor in that battle.
Indeed. Some of us still have it. He seems to like spend a minute thinking. He is now completely transformed back to this flaming summer Eladrin that you once knew him as. Whatever melancholy was there is completely gone, and he's kind of back to this blazing form that he once had. I would have it sworn. I would have a written confirmation of your promise and a sworn oath under this. What is it that you Aerosians care for? Siaska, this goddess of yours. Swear upon her that you will see this deal honored. And I will
Under
take you to
Siaska?
Lunaria.
Under Siaska, we can have written confirmation that upon arrival to Lunaria, you will be freed. However, you cannot harm Lucius on this journey, or any of us. You'll be our guide.
You may not. Then you will give me 24 hours. After we have arrived at Lunaria, you will not attempt to recapture or harm me for 24 hours.
Again, looking up at everyone else.
I have.
Sentry throws down the notebook and quill. For the contract.
You can
This is not
have
enough.
48 hours.
Where are the steals? 48 hours. Very well. I accept. 48 hours.
72.
That goes both ways.
72.
Hang on, the 72 hours goes both ways. In those 72 hours, you are not allowed to inform anyone of our presence on Lunaria.
I will not inform anyone of the Valkyrian Empire, but I have loyalties beyond the Emperor. It is the Archfey, whichever area that you wish to travel to, the Archfey must be informed. Lunaria does not work as your plane does. There are rules. And by rules, I do not mean laws, petty things written by men and women. I mean magical rules that must be enforced. As such, I must, if I encounter a servant of the Archfey, if I encounter Royal Guard or some such courtier, I must inform them of your presence. But I will not inform the Valkyrian Empire of your presence, if that is what you mean.
Okay. Let us converse. And we'll be back in a bit.
He looks around. I am not going anywhere.
How do we know we can trust him?
He'd honor his deal. He's honorable enough. In fact, the reason he hates Lucius so much is because he believes he broke that honor. I think he'll stick to his word or contract, written, signed contract
Yes.
as well.
Sign a contract.
Oh, that's what that scrumpled piece of paper is. Okay.
I mean, we tried.
It wasn't enough.
Got water on it.
Yeah, he wants a proper, like, seals and fancy artwork and scroll. You know, you can't just give him a scrap of paper. This guy's an Eladrin. He needs, like, an elaborate fucking thing.